I finally figured out fry screaming, and here's what I didn't understand that might help you if you're struggling as well. So I got a lot of good advice when I was trying to learn this, but the most of it seemed to be, no, it's not vocal fry, which is true. It's not that. I was told it's a combination of a higher placed fry sound, like up in your soft palate or up here. So it's like you can kind of feel it in there, mixed with a warm breath, like you're trying to fog up a glass, and then wipe it to try to clean glass. From there, I was told to transition, like mix around with the both, so kind of like and try to find like a middle ground and kind of like increase your breath support. That never worked. I could get some fry scream-ish sounds, but they were very quiet, and I could not hold them out for probably more than 10 seconds. It was still very weak, and you couldn't hold it out. That being said, the placement is still, the distortion's going on up here in the soft palate, and you still need a good amount of breath support. I saw one video on this person on Instagram was explaining how to do fry screams. If I find her account, I'll link it in the description. It'll probably be a minute after I've uploaded it, but I will link her account if she has a TikTok. If not, I'll just link her Instagram. But she explained something. She kind of went through the process of it, and then it finally clicked, and then I was able to get it. So I'm gonna explain to you how I'm able to do it. One other thing I forgot to add, vocal compression. That was something I did not understand for a while. So in short, it's basically this. Now, there's a big difference between just closing your vocal cords and compression. Closing your vocal cords is it's just like boop, 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 closing them. Vocal compression is much different. You're like all the tissue and you can feel like you're not like squeezing it, but you're closing it, if that makes any sense. So to speak with compression, this is what it's going to sound like. Yeah, gonna sound like an old man. Everything's still kind of closed up, and I can take this sound and move it up into my head, and then I have a very compressed sound. Everything's still kind of closed up, but I'm still talking, and it's not like the old man. It just moved and a little bit more free. Let me try to do that with just a regular, vocal closure. Yeah. You can't. So make sure you figure out your compression first. So, yeah, this is compression. Now, with that being said, there were a couple things I learned first before I figured out how to do this. And that would be I guess it's probably fry based, but a vocal distortion. And a quick way how to do that is just kind of flip in between your head and chest voice register. So, and trying to find where it breaks and kind of like lean into the instability of that. So like you do add some breath support there, but that's the sound you want to get. It's okay if your voice cracks. It's totally healthy. So I messed around with that sound for a couple months, and I never really progressed with it. I mean, it got better, but I just worked on it, and it got just better a little bits at a time, but still is not a fry scream in theory. Distortion is very high up, like in the soft palate area. So learn how to do that first. That. So next, what I saw in that lady explaining in her video was an exercise. It was like a but it was more like a it kind of like that the same distortion up here, except you push into it a little bit more, and then when you do that, it comes even more forward in your face, and that's a loose fry scream right there. And now this is where compression comes into play, because on its own I can't hold it out for too terribly long, like obviously longer than a false chord, but still not as long as you're supposed to hold out a fry scream for. For a quick example, and then I start to run out of air. That being said, didn't get a full breath of air, and it's also kind of weak. So what you do now is add the compression to it. So you can hear the difference of me adding compression and then having without compression. It sounds a little bit juicier, if that makes any sense, but it sounds a little bit more, I don't know what the correct term is, but you can hear the difference. But yeah, I'll link the tutorial of the lady that explains it a little bit in better detail in the description, or at least her profile. And just a quick note, always drink plenty of water while you're doing this stuff. Warm up first, and if there's any pain, stop. You're doing it wrong. This should not hurt whatsoever. It might tingle a little bit in your soft palate area if you're not used to having any kind of stuff going on up there. So just make sure there's no pain in your throat at all. There shouldn't be pain anywhere anyway. But yeah, always take care of your voice. Please consider following. I'm begging you.